Hello and welcome wherever you're joining us around the world for the final round of the GPVWC Formula Sprint 2 Championship. We're here at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, or the virtual version of it anyway, in Sao Paulo in Brazil, one of the real classic racing circuits out there, and I'd argue definitely one of the best in South America. For the final time this year, we've had 15 nail-biting rounds, and it all comes down to this. My name is McIntyre. I'll be your commentator for today. Unfortunately for all of your ears, I'll be joined by Menno Klont shortly. And well, today is championship day because, of course, we can't finish off the season without it all being wrapped up, and it is still open for now. 35 points, or 39 points rather, is what separates Jack McIntyre from Luke Mitchell up the top of the standings. On board with the championship leader now. And well, it's going to be close because, of course, we've got two races to look forward to tonight, both 18 laps in length. The second one being reverse grid with slightly less points on offer. Luke Mitchell needs to head into the final race of the season having narrowed that gap down to 21 points if he wants to have a mathematical chance at the championship. And even then, that's only a mathematical chance. That is a tall order. If he can get any closer, that'll be that. But if he can't get any closer than 21 points away from Jack Mayer, then it'll be wrapped up in race one. So a lot of mental maths is going to have to take place last minute. So do bear with us. The Teams Championship still open as well. Red Ven Racing and Alpha Sierra Sim Racing only separated by 22 points, so that could swing either way, really. So going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds. But again, hello and welcome. If you're just joining us, you join us for qualifying for the final round of the GPVWC Formula Sprint 2 Championship in 2022. It is a pleasure to bring you all of the action here in virtual Sao Paulo, and wherever you're watching the stream around the world, make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, all of that malarkey. It really does help out everyone here at GPVWC, and of course it allows you to stay connected as we move on from 2022 and into 2023. And of course, if perhaps you're new to GPVWC, you know, you fancy giving it a go next season, then make sure you go to the GPVWC website, www.gpvwc.com. You can find out loads more information there, and you can also find the link to the Discord server, which is where everything is run from, and you have the opportunity to join up potentially for next season, maybe even in this FS2 Championship. Who knows, this of course being the fourth tier out of 5 that we offer here in GPVWC. So while this may be the final round for this certain championship, as Alex Laho goes to pole there with a great lap, 2.5 tenths almost up on Stephen Lexau, and P2 absolutely flying there is Alex. So great stuff early on in this qualifying session. But as I was saying, while this may be the final round for this championship, there's still 3 more final rounds to come up in Formula Sprint 1, Super Lights and Super League. That'll be this Thursday, next Tuesday, and next Thursday, respectively. Let's make sure you're tuning in as Caitlin Penny bails out, dives into the pit lane in the DSR car. Of course, in the qualifying sessions here, which are private qualifying sessions, as they have been all year long, you do have the opportunity to dive into the pit lane and hit escape back to the pits. If you hit escape back to the pits while you're out on circuit, that's your session over. It's done, finito, end of the line. But you are allowed to hit escape back to the pits in the pit lane. It just teleports you back into your pit box. It's currently Alex Laho sat on provisional pole position with just under 9 minutes left on the clock in this final qualifying session of the year. But Stephen Lexau looking to try and improve on that time. Jack Mayer only managing P8 is the championship leader. Not the best by his, or P6 rather, so not the best lap by his standards. But I can't even see. Oh, Luke Mitchell's P4, there you go. I was missing him there for a second. If they were to start like this and finish like that in the race, Jack Mayer is champion following race 1. So just to bear that in mind then again, Mitchell needs to gain 21 points or more, or he needs to get the gap down to 21 points or less, rather, should I say, in order to mathematically take this championship to the final round. If he's finishing in 4th and Mayer is finishing in 6th, the gap only narrows by 3 points. That leaves it at 36 points. That is not enough to take it down to the final race. Incredible stuff here, but, well, we will have to wait and see as we continue on with this qualifying session. On board with the man currently P2 in the championship. Of course, if he was to wind up vice champion from this weekend, I'm sure he wouldn't be disappointed, but when you come into a championship weekend like this, in a title decided, 2 races left to separate yourself from glory, you know, it does hurt if you don't come out on top, even with the prestigious FS2 vice champion next to name. So let's see what Luke Mitchell can do this evening. Let's see who's going to come out on top as he's coming to the line now. It's a pretty good lap from him, 2 green sectors, but 1.5 tenths down on Alex Laho in sector 2. Comes to the line now. What's it going to be? It's a purple final sector, and it's P2 from Luke Mitchell. Just over 2 tenths of a second as Jack Mayer goes to pole. Championship leader Jack Mayer goes to pole, just pipping Laho by a few thousandths or a few hundredths of a second there. Great lap from the number 8 driver as Massimiliano Riboli, purple first sector by millimeters, it would seem. Let's see how he does through the middle sector, coming up to the line now, and it's green, but it's 2.5 tenths down on Mayer's lap, so a bit of work to do in the final sector, and that's quite tough because it's essentially just a glorified straight. It's foot flat to the floor, trying not to scrub off any speed, and well, then you're at the fate of the downforce gods at that point. Goes with a 22.648. That's enough to send him up to P6, so a pretty good lap there from Riboli, but still time to improve. As Machete as well, just off of Laho in 3rd place, so the top 3 separated by, 2.5 hundredths of a second. Absolutely insane. That is ridiculous pace from those 3. Lexout, Mitchell, Riboli, all within touching distance, as well as Craig Patterson gets it very sideways and spins out. He's going to have to bail from that lap, but it was massively down in the middle sector anyway. As there we see Seva Panasenko pulling into the pit lane as well. McNaughton out there doing his thing, although he's a second down in the first sector, so he might have to throw this lap in the bin, try and go for another one. He is currently down in P21, so plenty of time to improve there for Mark McNaughton in the Optimal Esports car. And there is still 5 minutes and 45 seconds left to run in this qualifying session. So plenty of opportunity to improve for the driver. And all of the drivers, should I say. There is plenty of options, plenty of opportunity out there to try and just nail the lap. As Laho rather, only just off in the first sector. Just over 100th down on the fastest time. Coming, and it's purple in sector 2. Alex Laho is absolutely flying at the moment in the round GP number 88. And once again, he's at the mercy of the downforce of the drag gods. And is he bailing into the pits? No. He's just taking the shortest line through there. Again, bit of a trend that's popped up this season. Shortest run to the line is the preferable one. Comes to the line now. It won't be pole, but it will be an improvement. And it moves him to within, 100th of a second away from Mayer's time. That's millimeters. Incredible stuff. And there's still time to improve for all the drivers out there. There's Lucas Thielen for servo competition. He's down in the middle sector, but he's got a personal best in the first and is not far off of the best lap times out there either. Coming down the final straight, gonna hit 250, getting up to 260 kilometers an hour. Across the line, it is an improvement, but not by much, a 23.3 as Luke Mitchell, purple in the first sector. That is exactly what he needs. Coming through the tight and twisty stuff in the middle sector, very difficult through these corners. It's down the hill, up the hill, awkward corner after awkward corner. And you've just got to be really, really patient with the car as you struggle and hustle your way through that tight and twisty stuff. He's down, unfortunately, in the middle sector as he heads through the final real corner at Yuncao. And on the blast, back up the hill onto the not quite a main straight. And then that'll be it for this lap for Luke Mitchell. He's got time to come in and box and get one more lap in. It won't be pole, but it will be a 22.5. Moves him that ever so slightly closer, but Jack Mayer starting exactly where he wants to be if he wants to wrap up this championship in race 1. Of course, anything can happen in GPVWC, and to quote an old adage, it usually does, but that is prime position for Jack Mayer. Panisenko, green middle sector, yellow first sector, final sector is purple. Okay, from Seba Panisenko moves to P10. Strong lap there. Craig Patton, purple in the first, green in the second, but a bit down. Coming to the final sector, and it is an improvement. He's down in the final sector, goes to P9 with a 22.7. Top 10 covered by little over 0.4 of a second here. Very, very close indeed. And a strong lap there from Craig Patterson in the number 77. Tisano green in the first as well. Just coming down to 2.5 minutes left on the clock now. It is starting to get to crunch time. And as we see there, a bit of a wobble on the rear of the car. But as he's trying to keep it straight, just been told on Ira that there's been a lap time invalidated. So shame there for Toby Davis, I believe it was, that had his lap time invalidated. Or it might be, I'm not sure who it is, but as Tisano bails on that lap. So now it's time, crunch time to get going again. Drivers will be coming into the pits, unless your name's Alex Laho, he's already out on an out lap again. There's no private, there's no cars out on track rather for each other. It's a private qualifying, so you're essentially out on track on your own, like you're doing a time trial hot lap session. But at the same time, everyone else is out on track and you're on their own, so everyone is doing qualifying. But you don't have to worry about trying to get into slipstreams, trying to avoid traffic, so you can just head out whenever you want. Laho's decided to gamble early. He will have time for a second push lap as well if you fancy going for a second push. So plenty of time. Let's ride on board with the man currently in third place. It is a purple first sector. It heads down to the bottom end of the circuit through the Desida de Largo corners. And now back up the hill. Could have run it a bit wider. On the run up to Ferradura, it's sweeping right-hander. Super, super fast. Super, super squarey. I can see the speed not even dipping below 200 kilometers an hour there. He's got a lot of pace on board that Rowan GP car. And as he heads through the middle sector now, up to the Bica de Pato. Right-hander again, another awkward corner. Very easy to lose the rear there, given the undulation and the camber. Left now through Magulo and up to Yuncao. What's the split going to be? And he's purple in the second as well. It's just under 1/10 of a second faster than Ruben Machete, who's gone to pole recently. So Laho on for a very, very strong lap here in the 88. Now it's just foot to the floor. Try not to scrub off any speed as you come all the way to the line. Shortest run to the line. And as he gets there, what's it going to be? It will be pole for the time being. A 1:22.314, a very, very strong lap time for Alex Laho, but there's still 20 seconds left on the clock. Still plenty of people out on laps. Dan Hayek, that won't be his final push lap, I'm sure, because it was down on his personal best. Roy Seifert comes to the line, again, down on his personal best. These guys do have time for another push lap, but anyone coming around now, it's checkered flag time. Jack Mayer, purple in the first sector for the championship leader. All right, let's see what happens here. Heading through the sweeping right-hander, a little bit down on the speed that Laho was carrying through there. I saw dipping to 196 kph. And oh, what a bit of a slide as well. He's really struggling through this middle sector. He's pushing so hard. The car's all sorts of unsettled. But Jack Mayer, he likes a car that moves around in the corners. And we know he's very, very fast. Will that affect his time at all, though? Coming down to Yuncao now, and the Sector 2 split. What's going to be? It is down, and that is down a long way. I don't think it's going to be pole for Jack Mayer as Luke Mitchell spins. Mitchell with a purple first sector, a green second sector, spins out of qualifying. He will start from 5th unless anyone can improve. Can Mayer improve? It seems a tall order. No, he cannot. Disaster for Mitchell. Could have been worse for Mayer, but he holds all the cars right now as Dan Hayek did go for another push lap. But again, down in the middle sector. Comes to the line now. Not improving despite 2 personal best sectors. Toby Davis looking strong. Doesn't improve though after being down in the final sector. And her engine actually started to overheat there. It's obviously just take the car up. Josh Downard. That's one way to bail on your lap. Of course, you can do that in sim racing because you, don't have to pay millions for repair costs and it's instantaneous as well. Isn't that lovely? So then, that's it for the final qualifying session of the season, and it's Alex Laho starting from pole position. Ruben Machete starts alongside him with championship leader Jack Mayer in P3. Stephen Lexau is alongside him with Luke Mitchell and Mikko Tamala on row 3. Massimo Romali, Riboli and Tom Parker start 7th and 8th with Craig Patton and Maxim Bulio rounding out the top 10 on the grid. 11th is Ivana Panasenko with Junio Lopez in P12. Toby Davis is 13th with Roy Seifert 14th. Dan Hayek is P15 with Luca Grain 16th. Here followed by Tom Ely and Justin van der Smissen with a strong lap there for the number 12. Lucas Styling and Tommy Koivunen make up the 10th row of the grid. Following them, Josh Downard, Luca Desano, Mark McNaughton, Caitlin Penny in P24, Ewan Dix in P25, Scott Morris is 26th. And finishing off our grid for race 1 is Harla Vicentijevic and Lillian Hilariot in P28. That's it then. Qualifying for the final round of the season is done. 2 18-lap races await us here at Interlagos, the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, and then it's it for FS2 in 2022. Done and dusted. Who will be crowned king come the end of the race? We'll have to wait and see, but currently the advantage lies with Jack Mayer starting P3 to his opponent Mitchell in P5. Again, the gap currently stands at 39 points. It needs to be down to 21 to mathematically take it to the final round. And that is 18 points that Luke Mitchell will have to gain on Jack Mayer. So, a bit of a tall order, especially given he's starting behind, but we'll have to wait and see. That's it for qualifying. Time for the warm-up session, where the drivers can just get out there and make sure that everything is working all okay with the setup, both car-wise and their rigs at home. Bit of a throwaway session for some drivers. Some don't like to go out at all. Some like to race quite hard. Just depends who you are, really. And of course, just a reminder in this session that you are allowed to use escape back to the pit lane. So, you will be seeing drivers pinging back and forth throughout, and we'll have to wait and see. While this warm-up session's going on, we're going to head for a short break, and then we'll come back just at the end of this warm-up session to get ready for your final race 1 of the season. So make sure you stick around. We'll be back in a few minutes. Hello and welcome back to the final round of the 2022 GPVWC Formula Sprint 2 season. We're just getting ready to go racing in race 1. My name is Ross McIntyre. I've been joined by Menno, Klont, and well, Menno, it's championship day today. All eyes have got to be on Mayer and Mitchell.
Yeah, well, I'm happy that I'm with a bit of delay. I'm there, so yeah, let's see what the final round will bring. It was really already a nice season, but we will have another chapter today. So let's see what it will bring. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, cars starting to make their way onto the grid before they head off on their formation lap. 2 18-lap races to look forward to this time. And, well, I'm sure we're all familiar with how it works by now. Formation lap, 5 red lights, away we go. It's Formula Sprint 2. It's the final round here at the virtual Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. And, well, I don't know about you, but I am more than excited to get ready to go racing. Had a very interesting qualifying session. Championship advantage definitely lies with the current leader, Jack Mayer. But of course, chaos could happen at any point during these opening 18 laps. The gap needs to be down to 21 points by Luke Mitchell in order to take it to the final race. He's got to bring it down by, looking at, trying to get my maths head working. That's 18 points he has to get the advantage on over Jack Mayer. Well, we'll see how that all ends up, shall we? We're underway on our formation lap, and let's have a look at the grid, shall we? It will be none other than Alex Laho starting from the pole position with Ruven Machete alongside him. Jack Mayer, championship leader, starts in P3 with Stephen Lexow in P4. Some great qualifying for the Red Ven guys there in their quest for the Constructors title. Second place, the championship, Luke Mitchell starts 5th with Mikael Tomalis alongside him. Massimiliano Riboli starts in 7th with Tom Parker in P8. Rounding up the top 10 is Craig Patton with Maxim Bulio alongside. Seba Panasenko and Junio Lopez make up the 6th row of the grid. Further along in P13, it's Toby Davis with Roy Cypher alongside, with P15 Dan Hayek and P16 Luca Gray in the number 11 Spark Racing team car. A strong qualifying from him. 17th is Tom Ellie with Justin van der Smissen in P18. Rounding out our top 20 drivers is Lucas Thylin and Tommy Koivunen. Some strong qualifying in it from several drivers throughout the grid. Josh Downard is 21st with Luca Tisano in 22nd. Caitlin Penny starts in 23rd with Jorn Dix in P24. And then our final two drivers, final few drivers should I say, is Scott Morris, Leland Halliret, Mihajlo Vicentievich and Mark McNaughton, who I believe may be starting from the pit lane. He did do. Oh, I've just been told no. Maybe he had a grid penalty, I'm not sure. But that'll be your grid coming in. Any predictions for this one, Menno?
I think Alex Lehoux will have a good chance to win it, but I think Ruven Machete wants to show that his season was really good. So I think it will be interesting to see what those two will do. Let's see if Jack Mayer goes full risk or that he stays a bit more like conservative because he wants to just clinch it. So we shall see how aggressive he will be. And yeah, I think realistically anyone in the top 5 could win it. Outside the top 5 it will be tricky, I guess.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with you on that one. Remember, if they finish as they start, Jack Mayer is crowned champion. Mitchell going from P5, I presume, will be going all out attack because he's got nothing to lose. He's got a big order in front of him if he wants to come away and take this championship down to the final race of the season as we await the 5 red lights. We're underway here in race 1 in Sao Paulo. Look like a good start there for Alex Lowe. It is a good start, already cutting off Machete as heading to turn 1, and that is Jack Mayer trying to dive down the inside but unable to make the gap a bit of wheel-to-wheel contact between the pair at the front, but it will be Alex Lowe who takes the lead. Are facing the wrong way in a big crash. Oh, a big crash in the center S's on this opening lap. Several cars around without wings and into the wall, but the rest of the drivers looking like they've gotten away all okay. It will be Laho leading the way from Machete with Mayer in P4, Lex in P4. And
Mitchell crashed, I think.
Mitchell crashing out. If there is not a restart for this race, and he's currently outside of the points, I mean, there is a chance to recover. if he managed to get through. We've seen some historic championship fight backs here at Sao Paulo, both in the virtual world and in the real. But if they finish as they are, well, Mitchell's out of the points, Mayer is champion, but there's still 18 laps of racing left to run here in Sao Paulo. Anything can happen. Machete under pressure from Jack Mayer, who now can just cruise home, frankly, given Mitchell's condition. Laho already trying to break away at the front. The gap, 1.4 seconds on this opening lap. Is Mayer trying to tuck into the slipstream in that number 8 car, trying to push, foot flat to the floor in the slipstream of Machete. Can he duck out? He'll have to go the long way around to the outside on the run into the first few corners. He's being forced out, ducks out late, but he's alongside Machete, who's later onto the brakes. Oh, and look at that, Mayer already driving alongside, but Machete with great braking defense. Mayer holds it around the outside. Brilliant move from the championship leader. Awesome stuff on this opening lap, but Menno, what a disaster for Mitchell in the opening few corners.
Disaster for Luke Mitchell, of course, who had a small chance to get the championship, but it's a shame. But I guess Jack Mayer already heard that, because he now knows he can even go all in now, because I think more or less, unless something dramatic happens, he will have this title now clinched. Well, we now see a replay of the start. So where does it happen? It's 3 wide. It's his teammate. It's his teammate. His teammate, yeah, but his teammate got squeezed as well. So I will not put the full blame on his teammate, but it was his teammate who hit Luke Mitchell. But it was typically 3 wide going into turn 1 here.
Yeah, as we see Toby Davis dive into the inside there. Oh, another 3 wide move, but well executed by the number 89 driver. Yeah, Luke Mitchell, I think, he's just not aware. Oh, hello. Hello. Okay, right. Toby Davis into the wall with another driver. And oh, my goodness me. Having to back it out onto the racing line. Well avoided by the other drivers. But, yeah, shame there for Luke Mitchell. He's, well, just I don't think he would have seen the car on the far inside. And Machete gets sideways. Raboli moves up to 11th with a very smart move. But, well, I mean, the championship, although realistically it may be done at this point, pending a disaster for Mayer or a miracle for Mitchell, it's not over until the checkered flag falls. So, Mayer may be going all out attack, but he's not champion just yet, as Parker has to lock up the wheels to avoid slamming into the side of Tuamala, who cuts across rather aggressively in the opening few laps. Lap 3 of 18 here in Sao Paulo, and already chaos and drama here in the final round of the Grand Prix Virtual World Championship. Formula Sprint 2 season, Caitlin Penny, big contact with Justin van der Smissen, well saved by the number 53 downforce driver. Onto the grass, all sorts of sideways. Very, very well held as Luca Gray goes for a dive. Luca Gray sideways as well. This isn't a drifting competition, guys. It's the final race 1 of the season. Come on, sort yourselves out. That'll be Raboli trying to capitalise off that one. He gets through Gray. He's not far off the back of Lopez as well. He slides past Luca Gray with a very sensible move. Oh my goodness me, there is chaos everywhere you look here in the opening few laps. Meanwhile, up the front, Alex Laho, 1.5 seconds clear of Jack Mayer. Something tells me, Menno, this is going to be a race of attrition.
It's already, they are really losing so much tire already at the beginning of the race, so... Ooh. And there's a big fighting in P10, P11 now. Well, we've got Junior Lopez there with Luca Gray, and Junior Lopez still with Luca Gray, and Luca Gray is now at the inside. So we shouldn't forget Junior Lopez is still a rookie in this championship. I think he is wanting to do the full season next year, so he gets a bit of experience here, and actually now gets overtaken by another car. But there's great fighting, big fighting, but you need to have tires after 18 laps, guys, don't forget.
Yeah, some very aggressive racing. I mean, Luca Gray just barging Lopez out of the way there. Luckily, of course, R-Factor 2's damage model not quite as effective as the real world. You can get away with banging wheels here and there and slamming side pods and open seat cars and continue on your merry way with no effects at all. I mean, in real life that would have been a broken underfloor at least. Scott Morris trying to put the pressure on and trying to go round not Caitlin Penny, sorry, Dix, and he's done so. Oh, gets wobbly on the exit zone. That'll kill his momentum and he'll be having problems all the way up the hill, and he's going to lose a place to Hillary as well shortly. And don't go 3 wide, guys. It's lap 5. Tom Parker trying to look for a way past Tuamala once again, coming down into the opening few corners. Panasenko also having a look on Luca Gray, unable to make the gap appear. But coming through those center S's, dangerous piece of tarmac, as Dix proves me correct. Going sideways, I think there was contact there, possibly with Heliret. Oh my goodness me. It's lap 5, chaos everywhere you look here in race 1. Panasenko does get through. Luca Gray a bit smoother than Gray got through another driver a few laps ago. Lopez now trying to make up positions where he's been forced out wide. Again, a rookie in this championship. He just wants to gain some experience before moving up the tier into Formula Sprint 2. Of course, this being the 4th tier out of 5 that we run here at GPVWC. The one below this being the Academy Racing, which is essentially free to enter. You just kind of come along and go. This one, you need a team to enter. You got to have a license and things. It's proper stuff. And by the way, of course, if you're looking to get involved next season, looking to get yourself out there and get a team out on the grid, make sure you head over to the GPVWC website to find out all of the information there. As Machete now putting the pressure on the champion-elect, Jack Mayer, as he dives to the inside, gets the move done with a textbook overtake. Nice and simple on the brakes. Tom Parker unable to make a similar move onto Amala. And further back, Luca Gray once again fighting with drivers everywhere you look. Him and Panasenko going at it like there's no tomorrow. But there is still 12 laps of the race left to run. Oh my goodness me, Tizano. Oh, that could have been very bad. That was Tizano and Van der Smissen. That could have been an airplane crash as Tizano comes across, and Caleb Penny as well. Oh my goodness me, 3 wide, heading down to the bottom end of the circuit. Contact, oh, huge crash. Round they all go. Luckily, 2 of them avoid the wall. I'm not so sure about Van der Smissen, who tumbles down the order. I think he may have just about got away with it, facing the wrong way, but Penny, Tizano, Van der Smissen all coming into contact after someone bounced over the sausage curb. Oh my goodness me, I'm going to need a breather in a minute as Tom Parker still putting the pressure on Tuamala. Just unable to quite find a way through at the moment. Tuamala maybe running a lower downforce setup to try and get away with the slipstream. Of course, this big final sector is essentially one long straight with a few curves thrown in it. Foot flat to the floor, try not to scrub any speed off. Jack Mayer does have the DRS on Ruben Machete, but he won't be close enough down into turn 1 unless he's looking to make a dive bomb or very late defensive maneuver, but a legal and fair defensive maneuver from Machete there to cut off Mayer. He has to go this way then that way. He can't find a way through. Tom Parker still stuck behind Tuamala as well as we head on to lap 7. Alex Laho, Menno. Yeah, Alex Laho is starting to bolt away at the front. He was only 1.8 seconds ahead of Machete. If Machete and Mayer are fighting all race long, Laho could be in with a very comfortable race win here.
Yeah, and the whole second part of the season for Laho was really good. It's only the first part of the season where he was not having his A game, so he's not in the championship fight at the championship table. But yeah, he shows that he is one of the fastest guys around, at least in this championship. And he already got 2 seconds, so he drove out them out of DRS. So it's very interesting. And now we've got Steven Lexo, who's actually quite well in following Ruven and Jack. So let's see what Steven can do. Will he be able to overtake Jack Mayer, or will Jack Mayer now overtake Ruven again? I think Jack might do that because of the DRS, so we shall see. I already see a lot of more straight line speed now that the DRS is open. Needs to go around the outside of Ruven. And can he do that? No, not yet, no. Not here, and now Steven is quite close, I think. We also see Mikael Tumala now fighting with Tom Parker. And yeah, Mikael Tumala will have the slipstream, will I think go around the outside, while we now look at Jack Mayer, who now passes Ruven Machete. So it's now both the red fan cars P3 and P4. And Mikael Tumala still behind, while we now have a fight for P15 is for P14, Caitlin Penny and Luca Tizzano. Very good, Luca Tizzano. Oh, this is...
Oh, dear.
And they both spin. That was So not needed that that incident. We just saw it was a bit too squashy with from the yellow car, which was a bit of a shame. This could have been avoided, I think, especially in race 1. So it's a shame. So they both lost a few positions now, and it promotes Luke Mitchell now in the points and Tom Ely now in P14.
Yeah, so Mitchell into the points, but, well, he's going to have to hope Mayer crashes and he somehow wins, realistically. If he wants to, again, he needs 18 points advantage over Mayer in this race, with 10 laps remaining in order to take it down to the final race of the season. Right now, Mayer, he doesn't quite have one hand on the trophy, but he is certainly reaching for it. Tom Parker finally gets through to Amala, but still now under pressure from the driver he spent so long trying to battle, hitting the halfway point of this race. And now Tuamala going to try and have a look to the outside down the bottom end of the circuit into turn 4. Nope, not going to happen this time. Oh, he's been shoved out as well, and he's going to lose all his speed. And Bulio is going to get past him as well. Such is the risk of trying an overtake when these guys are all closely raced. It's like a kart race out there, isn't it? I mean, you make a little mistake and suddenly you're shuffled back 2-3 positions. These guys just following each other neck and tail, unless your name's Alex Laho, who's now 3 seconds in front of Jack Mayer in the lead of the race. A very, very fine drive from the race leader at the moment. Just look at the gap, it's huge! In sim racing terms, that's light years. Just massive, massive gap as Jack Mayer up into P2. I think Machete may have made a mistake somewhere because he's been shoved out and has fallen back a little bit. So now it's Mayer and Lexau in the podium places as we come onto lap 10. And it's all very, very close action indeed. Again, Mayer, well, he doesn't even need to do anything right now. Even if he finished outside the points, if Mitchell doesn't gain 18 points from in this race, so finish basically 20th, then that's it. Championship is over. Mayer is your 2022 Formula Sprint 2 champion. But still a few laps left to run yet, and anything can happen in GPVWC. Tuamala now looking to get past Bulio at the same place. He tried that move on Parker a lap ago. This time he thinks better of it, goes to the inside. Does he get it done? Not quite. Yes, he does. Bulio being forced out wide over the rumble strips, and that's going to allow Craig Patterson through as Tom Parker starts to try and break away at the front. These three squabbling hard all throughout this Sao Paulo circuit here in Interlagos. Of course, so aptly named because it's literally between two lakes in the Brazilian city of Sao Paulo. That's where it gets its name from anyway. As Roy Seifert still doing his thing in P14. It looks like the race is starting to calm down just a little bit, but there's still action everywhere you look, Menno.
Yeah, still action everywhere you look. And it was quite close with Ruben Machete because he was more or less dropping out of DRS, but I think he just managed to stay inside DRS, so he can still follow Steven and Jack here. Maybe Ruben has got a chance to still get on the podium this race, but yeah, he's a bit the chasing car now. I think Tom Parker and Mikael Tumala now are fighting very hard for P5 in the race, and I would say maybe Mikael Tumala is a bit more the favorite here because he drove this car the whole season, so he knows maybe a bit more what to expect, and maybe tire wise that's something you really want to have. Craig Patterson, a fine P7 for now, with also a fine P8 for Maxime Biulu, and yeah, all looks very good. Or one of our rookies, or not the complete rookie, second round for Junior Lopez, now in P13. He didn't score a single point, so if he can get a top 15, I think he will be over the moon with this. I know that Junior Lopez has got the ambition to be in this championship for full time. I didn't find a seat, I believe, for 2023, so this is a bit of his selling card at the moment. So actually, personally, I look at how he's doing, and yeah, the whole top 15 looks pretty racy, and even outside there. I mean, I saw actually number 16, so the first driver not in the points, Justin van der Smissen, having a bit of a slide, and having that in lap 11 is not the best. Well, we now see Craig Patterson actually attacking Mikael Tabala.
Yeah, trying to go the long way around. I think Luke Mitchell has had another disaster, whether he's made a mistake or been in another incident, because he's dropped out of the points down to 23rd the last time I saw. So Luke Mitchell's day goes from bad to worse, and yeah, he's 20 seconds off of Morris, so I think something's gone horribly wrong there for Luke Mitchell. What a shame. But apparently he's pitted, but not sure why you... Oh, forced out wide to Amala. That's one way to get an overtake done. But, well, legal, I suppose. But, well, some drivers don't exactly like it, especially if you're the one being forced off the road on board with Craig Patterson for that replay. So we can see what happened. So he's got the DRS coming to the outside. So Amala cuts back across in the braking. Gets it slightly wrong, loses the rear end, and then just gets shoved out by Patterson. It was just ruthless in his overtaking manoeuvre. So nice stuff there from Craig Patterson.
Was just a little mistake, and then you lose all the grip, rear grip, and he needed to just make a big correction and lost him all the speed. So very interesting now. If I'm looking at the standings, I believe Ruven Mercedes only is 22 points behind Luke Mitchell, and if he finishes in P4, then he already would gain, I think, 13 points back on Luke Mitchell. So Ruven Mercedes might be driving for the second place in the championship for now. Of course, Jack Mayer will have this championship sorted, I think already, but if he finishes this race in P2, of course it will only make his lead a bit bigger. So while we've got an overtake in P9, it's Massimiliano Riboli.
Oh, Caitlin Penny involved in more trouble. That was Van der Smissen and Tizano, I believe, getting involved. I'm not sure what's happened there. Caitlin Penny just seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time everywhere she goes now. Let's get a replay of what happened. So Penny leading this pack of three, squeezes one of the drivers to the wall, comes around, forced out a little bit wide, dives to the inside, just gets turned across there. That's no fault of her own, and I think that may have been Tizano to blame for that one. Stephen Lex out onto the back of Jack Mayer, who's been struggling for pace in this stint, or this phase of the race rather, should I say. Just struggling to catch up to the back of Alex Laho, who's almost 4 seconds, is 4 seconds ahead now as we hit the 5 laps remaining mark. Again, that is an important point to note. While it may not be that Luke Mitchell will be taking this championship to the final round, Machete in P4 is in a prime position to close up the gap to Mitchell for the vice championship to 9 points. So the fight for the championship may be over as Riboli's on the grass, but the vice championship fight is still well and truly on as Riboli comes back off rather sensibly. You don't want to be on that for too long. Dirtier tyres. You definitely don't want to be braking on that either. No grip is the short answer for that one. One-way trip to the wall is the longer answer. Let's have a replay of what happened with Tuamala a few moments ago. Coming down the main straight with the DRS. Pulls to the outside. Shoved all the way to the outside. Actually loses a bit of pace with that DRS. And just contact. And round goes the driver in front. I think that was just outside of our camera shot. Shame there for Maxime Bouliot. Yeah, that's just a racing incident. I think just a differential of braking zones. Very easy to misjudge when you're following another car as close as that. And that's where Riboli came on. And took a little trip onto the grass and actually had to back out of it just a little bit to not get into any more calamity. As we focus once again back out onto the front. Lap 15 of 18 here in the final race 1 of the season. Still another 18-lap race yet to come tonight in this final round of the 2022 GPVWC Formula Sprint 2 Championship. And there is still tension here at the Interlagos circuit in virtual Sao Paulo. Jack Mayer very much has one hand on the championship trophy, and within a few laps, pending a disaster, will be crowned our Formula Sprint 2 champion of 2022. But there's still some racing yet to do in this first race of the evening as Panasenko to the inside. Lovely move there on a Bulio up the inside. Nice and simple, textbook stuff from him there. As you see a replay of possibly... and that's Riboli going off the road. So, he's just washed out there, has Riboli, into another driver. Oh, that's a shame.
But that driver was already there, and just the way the corner goes, it's actually pushing Ribuli a bit outside, and because there was a car, they just touched. So it was not an intentional incident, but it was good enough to make him Ribuli lose a lot of positions. And now Seva Panasenko is already in P8, and I think that might be one of his best results of the year. And we now see Lexo for P2 and Jack Mayer for P3. Oh, this will be a master play, because I think Steven and Jack want to show what they're capable of in terms of battling. So now we've got Jack Mayer, who needs to go the long way around the outside, but it is possible to walk the corner here. Will they do? Will they do? They will, of course, give each other enough room. Or more or less.
Off the road, Jack Mayer. Oh, risky business there for the champion-elect. He's still fighting with Lexo, though. Lexo almost shoving him all four wheels off the track, but he will have to concede the position as those two now drop to 5 seconds behind race leader Alex Lahoe.
Josh Downard in the pits, and he was, I believe, in P11, which is a shame for him, because he had quite a decent race until now. So Josh Downard in the pits. That promotes Justin van der Smissen now in points with Jorn Dix in P14.
Yeah, look at Machete as well. He's starting to get onto the back of these two. If they start fighting properly over the penultimate laps, could be a big change here. This car fight for the podium spots has now become a 3-car fight for second and third. Jack Mayer will surely have the DRS and have the speed down into turn 1, already pulling out to the inside. He'll be later on the brakes, surely. He is later on the brakes. He takes P2 on the penultimate lap of the race. And, we've seen a fair few instances in this race. I've just got to, say, well, a lot of people watching will potentially be saying as Bulio to the inside of Panasenko. Similar move to Mayer. Executed perfectly. Great job there from Maxime Bulio. But as I was saying, many people watching sim racing, you see incidents which in real life are easily avoidable, but you've got to remember a lot of these guys out there are racing with a single monitor. They have no vision whatsoever, so it's very hard to see a car coming, and that is why Josh Downer came into the pits, because that is a car without a rear wing. In real life, that'd be a DNF. Luckily in sim, you can get it replaced.
What happened there? What happened there?
What?
Whoa!
I think we may have had an R Factor 2 moment, unfortunately.
Wow,
this game, at its best, its physics are beautiful. That's what it looks like when it's at its worst.
I think that was just Downard's being, 6 years too late for the Rio Olympics. But if he would have participated, it would not have only be gold, but it would be silver and bronze at the same time. What a crash was that! So that was a unique crash, which we sometimes see with R Factor 2. So luckily he wasn't hurt too much, because he's still driving, but lost a lap on the leaders. Well, we're already in the final lap, and we now see Junior Lopez battling with Roy Seivert, and this is going for P11, and let's see what will happen here. Will Junio go all in on defending, or will he actually go for the points? Oh yeah, Roy Seivert is just too fast, and Junio lets him go. Junio Lopez now in P12 and Roy Seivert in P11. Well, Junio Lopez went off a bit, but yeah, we're nearly at home for nearly the last race of the season. We had 31 races now. I'm counting it correctly. Got one more race starting in like 15 minutes, but we're waiting for the finish of this one first. So
we are indeed.
Yeah, another win for Alex Lahoe. This will be his, I think, his fourth.
Yeah, this will easily be Lahoe's. He's only got one corner left to go, and he's got 5 seconds on the man in P2. Alex Lahoe comes to the line to take victory, but it's all eyes on second place, because in 2022 we crown him king. Jack Mayer, champion of the Formula Sprint 2 GPVWC series, with a phenomenal drive. Congratulations to Jack Mayer. He is your champion. with a spectacular drive. He had all the cards coming into this round, and he held onto them perfectly and played them right. What a performance from your 2022 champion, Jack Mayer. Stephen Lexau rounds out the podium. But what a fine drive that was from Alex Laho up the front to take a brilliant, brilliant victory, just quicker than everyone else. Plain to see, Van der Smissen takes the final points paying position in P15, just pipping Caitlin Penny to the line. And there he is. Donuts for the king, Jack Mayer.
Yeah, well, what a season he had. I think, where did he win it? Apart from the race wins itself, I think it was mainly his consistency. I think maybe on pure pace there were a few this season that could really challenge him. I think Steven, Alex, Ruven, and of course Luke Mitchell, who could all challenge him for race wins. But it was the consistency and not giving up and getting all points available, which made him getting this title. And if you look at others, they had some DNFs, not always their fault, but yeah, it was also very smart driving from Jack. And now he's the first one of this, of course, from the Sprint 2 Championship, but he will be, of course, in a big group from all the Formula Challenge GPVWC champions. So he's in a good group. So I'm very, very happy for Jack. And I do believe we already will have Jack for an interview. So I will look into.
Yeah, it's a good championship to have on your CV. And I believe we have him here now. Jack, can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you. Hello.
Jack Mayer, champion of Formula Sprint 2 in 2022. That's got to sound pretty nice.
It's definitely something I'll take. Given the start of the season and how the season's gone, it really could have swung to Alex. It could have not Alex, sorry, Luke. Congratulations to Alex, by the way, on the win. It could have gone to Luke, could have gone to Reuven, and it really was open all season. And both of the guys, they've pushed me to the end, and it's just a great season, really, and I'm really happy.
Yeah, it's pretty nice championship to have on your CV, so well done for that one. First question, are you even going to bother with race 2, or are you just going to kind of sit on the sidelines and enjoy your evening?
The goal
No,
today...
you're racing.
Of course I'm racing.
By the way, we do have
The goal today was 2 wins. Unfortunately, Alex was just too good in the second half of that first race, so the goal today is 1 win, at least. 2 podiums. You know, we've got to keep the streak of points finishes alive. 32 races in the points would also be something I'd be happy with at the end of the season. So that's the target.
Well, we'll have to end and see. We'd also have your team boss, Owen McGorgy, in with us. And Owen, well, again, you know, Jack's champion. That must look good for your team.
It does. Yeah, it does look pretty good. I mean, I said at the start of the season that, one of us would get a champion, it would either me or Jack. And, you know, as much as I would have liked it to be me that got the FS1 championship, I'm so happy for Jack that he's won this championship. Like, he's done such a good job all season. He hasn't scored. He hasn't finished outside of the points all season, even after some dodgy races, I must say.
Cheers.
Well, that's nice of you. So, Jack, what's the plan for you next season? And you've won this. You looking to move on up in the GPVWC world?
Yeah, I think. Obviously, I can't stay here for another year. I don't think they'd want me either, FS2. So I think I've got no choice but to go into FS1, you know, go up the ladder properly now. And as long as Owen wants me, then I'm happy to stay at TOP next season, as long as TOP go up, which I'm sure they will.
And, Owen, again, you know, what's your plan? Do you plan to stick with Jack, or you're putting out driver advertisements for 2023?
I have already sent in an application for FS1, and it should hopefully, if everything goes well, be me and Jack racing in FS1 with TOP. So hopefully, as long as we get in, I am looking forward to Jack being my teammate and, you know, hopefully doing good things up in FS1.
There you go. It's a date.
Can't wait to see it. Menno, you got any questions for the guys?
Do I have questions? Well, you have got no pressure for race 2 now, so will it just be... will you go in it relaxed, or will you still be hyped for everything now?
I've got to send it. I've got to send it. I've done it all season. You know, I want points, but I want prizes. I want wins. So that's not going to stop even with the championship wrapped up. And I'm just going to send it, really.
Yeah.
Don't break the car.
No.
Well, I think that's all we've got time for, unfortunately, guys. Thank you very much for joining us, and congratulations, of course, Jack, champion of Formula Sprint 2 in 2022. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy race 2.
We'll try. That was Jack Mayer and Owen McGorgy from Top Esports, of course. Jack, champion of Formula Sprint 2 in 2022, and Owen, the team boss. Now then, we've got a few minutes until race 2 gets underway, so we're going to take a short break here, and then we'll get ready to go for another 18-lap race, and then that's it for 2022. So make sure you stick around. We've had one championship decided. The Constructors is still open, but judging from that last race, it's all advantage to Red Ven Racing. We'll have to wait and see. So we'll see you in a few. Hello and welcome back to virtual Sao Paulo for the final round and the final race of the 2022 Formula Sprint 2 Championship here at GPVWC. It's time for our second race, Reverse Grid Race 2. We've just seen the Drivers' Championship wrapped up on Race 1, the Constructors still yet to be taken. And well, perhaps the most interesting scenario that could have happened with the Reverse Grid has happened. The random number that's been plucked out of the hat to take pole position was P15. So that's the largest possible, kind of pivot group that we have for the reverse grid. It will be Justin van der Smissen on the pole. But I'm very, very excited to see how this all unfolds because, well, I certainly haven't commentated on a race ever here in GPVWC where the reverse grid has been that large. So we'll have to wait and see. My name is Ross McIntyre. I'm joined by Menno Klont once again. And Menno, we've seen a fantastic race one. We've seen one championship wrapped up. And now it's time to go racing for the final time this season. What are you expecting looking into it?
Well, what do I expect? A very interesting battle for second in the championship. And yeah, we've got a reverse grid, which is quite high. It makes it very interesting. If I calculated it right, I believe there are 9 points.
Yeah, there is 9. Yeah,
between Reuven and Luke. You can get less points for a race 2. Yeah, it will be very interesting if Reuven can if he can get Luke here. 9 points is still quite a bit, so we shall see what will happen there. I think that would be my aim for the second race, to see what happens in that fight and also what the others can do. Will be very interesting. Well, everybody now is lining up for a race 2 at this amazing circuit. Personally, it's one of my favorites, just the way the whole track is with the high differences. Well, we now see them going on the formation lap for the 32nd and final race of this season. And let me now take you through the starting for race 2. We're waiting for the thing. Yeah. So it's Justin van der Smissen on pole position with Jorn Dix, his teammate, in P2. Then it's Tom Ely P3, and actually didn't see P4, but Roy Seifert is P5 with Massimiliano Riboli P6, Seva Panasenko P7, and Maxime Biulu in P8. P9 is there for Mikael Tomala with Craig Pedersen in P10, Tom Parker P11, and Reuven Machedi now in P12. P13 is there for Steven Lexo. Our champion is in P14, and then P15 for Alex Hu, our race winner for race 1. Then Caitlin Penny P16, Mark McNaughton P17, Luca Tisano P18, Luke Mitchell P19, and Scott Morris P20. Then we've got even more. We've got Luca Gray in P21, Tommy Koivunen in P22. P23 is there for Just Downard with Lilian Hilliaret in P24. And then we've got 4 more. It's Dan Hayek in P25, Toby Davis in P26, Lucas Stylin in P27, and Mihailo Vincencevic in P28.
And that will be it.
Yeah, that will be it. So, the VMS Sun Edits in P1 and P2 would of course be great if they can finish like that, but I am not so sure. But it is something for those guys to stand on the front row, so it's will be I think a highlight already for that team and for the drivers. Let's see how they will do. Let's see how aggressive everybody will be, because it's the last race of the championship. You of course hope always on clean racing, but maybe they just take a little bit more risk for that final one. I hope we will still get a decent race. Will we go 3 wide again into turn 1? We shall see. Will they all survive? We shall see. But I think we will have a good race. Ross, up to you.
Right then, 5 red lights, we know the drill. For the final time this season, We're underway in Formula Sprint 2 in the final race of the year. It's a good start from Van der Smissen, who will hold on to the lead down into turn 1, as drawing alongside them in the background his teammate under pressure, as it looks like we're all clean through the Stena S's for the first time. Again, we've wrapped up the Drivers' Championship in race 1, the Constructors and the Vice Championship still wide open. Van der Smissen from Dix from Eli, your top 3, Lopez and Seifert 4th and 5th. As well, you look through the field, it's all clean this time round, which is lovely to see after the chaos of the opening lap last time out, but lots of cars everywhere. You look, 28 car field here at Sao Paulo, just absolutely rammed, and we've got 18 laps left of racing this season. Let's see what's going to happen as Craig Patson tries a dive bomb, doesn't get it, 3 wide through the right-hander. Really? Come on, guys, it's lap 1. Oh my word, taking no second chances of these guys, throwing all the punches straight away as we're going 3 wide once again. Almost contact, there is contact there. This is tantalising stuff on the opening lap, but you can't separate any of them as they're running down. A bit of a move trying to be made on Alex Laho, your race 1 winner, by Ruben Machete, who's fighting, of course, for that Vice Championship. If he finishes where he is now, he will not take it. He won't have enough points. He needs to get P7 or higher. If Mitchell finishes outside the points to take the Vice Championship, 4 wide. Coming down the front straight, as you see Tom Ellie trying once again to the outside of Dix, but unable to make the move. Parker once again.
He got him. He has him. Yeah, so
yeah, Eli's got through.
To P2. And that's, I think, really important for Tom Ely, because Tom Ely now splits both the VMS cars. And look at Justin Van der Smissen. He checks out, and it's only 18 laps. So it is very, very interesting now for Justin Van der Smissen. And who is in a prime position to do well now? I think, yeah, quite a few are doing well. And our fast drivers in race 1 are not going through the field that fast, not as I had expected they would. So very interesting, very intense first lap, but maybe one of the best first laps we saw a whole season, without any mistake, but with really hard driving. I think we had a yellow flag somewhere. We see Seva Panasenko go wide, now going to drive alongside Mikael Tumala. But yeah, everything goes right. We've got Toby Davis out of the race and Mark McNaughton in the pits, so that's unfortunate for those two, but the rest is still driving. Oh, look at those cars 3 wide, and everything goes well for now. I think we still go 3 wide. Or are we actually going 4 wide? 4 wide!
Guys,
it's a 5 wide! It's a 5 wide! I think it's a 5 wide.
And Stephen looks so forced out wide, but it could have been so much worse, as that's Alex Laho well off the road there as well in the background. Oh my god, you can tell it's the final race of the season, can't you? And they're 5 wide. They're 4 wide coming down the back straight. What are you doing, boys? Calm down, that's why you need to calm down. Bulio forced out wide after contact. Oh my goodness me, it's lap 3.
And of course they tried everything to keep it as clean as possible, but when you go 3 wide every corner, then it will go wrong sooner or later. So yeah, unfortunately it was a bit of a mistake there. Actually not too bad for Maxime, but they still lost quite a few places. So it's now Roy Seibert in P2, with Justin Van der Smissen still in P1, of course. Jordan Dix now in P3. I was in P3 before. Tom Ely went back to P4, so yeah, it looks pretty good for the for Justin Van der Smissen if he can keep it like this.
Well, Justin Van der Smissen's best result this season has been P15, so you know, even if he starts to drop backwards, he's got an excellent chance to have his best race of the season in the final race of the season as well. So we'll have to see how he does, of course, going off of the reverse grid pole, as Riboli with the best lap of the race so far on 23.505. That is not a reference to the terrible Arctic Monkey song, I promise you. As we see Lopez fighting with Jack Mayer, your new champion in P9. Mayer's made some great progress already, especially when you compare him to the likes of Lexau and Laho, who've dropped backwards over the opening few laps, which is a shame to see. There's Luke Mitchell into P12, beginning the fight back, and just ahead of him, well, Just ahead of him, and Craig Patterson now is the man he's fighting for the Vice Championship with. Right now, if Machete finishes 11th and Mitchell finishes 13th, Mitchell is crowned Vice Champion. He took his defeat for the championship race, but very humbly congratulated Jack Mayer in the Discord chat. Seemed very glad. Those two are good friends, of course, so, it's great to see that rivalry on the track. Great respect off of it. Mitchell, though, in a fierce battle now with Lopez, who actually runs off the road. So Lopez having a mistake there and almost going round. So Mitchell easily taking P12. Now he can focus his attacks back on Patterson. As there we see Roy Siffert, who's on the back of Justin Van der Smith, and he's closed that gap up in no time at all. I wonder if Van der Smith has potentially made a mistake somewhere, because that gap has dropped right down in little over a lap. As we see there, Raboli, Dix, Ellie trying to go side by side. Dix has to concede third place. Now Raboli trying to get through into fourth as well. Machete giving it a go on Jack Mayer, but unable to make the way through. They're 2 by 2, heading down the back stretch. Who's going to come out on top in this particular fight? I think it will be Dix to the inside there. No, it won't actually. Ellie slams the door shut. Tuamala has to settle for 6th as well. Raboli actually gets through 6th, gets through Dix as well. So great stuff from Raboli, as Craig Patterson still putting that pressure onto the back of Luke Mitchell, who now has Jack Mayer for company in front of him. As Raboli back to the action for P3.
Yeah, and I would say maybe Mr. Riboli here, he's now in P4. If he can pass Tom Ely quite easily or quite fast, then I would still say that he has got a decent chance to win this still, but he needs to make move fast. I think he will be able to if he works it well with the DRS. I think he will be DRS. And look at the two guys in front of him. He had Van der Smith actually got overtaken by Roy Seifert. So Roy Seifert now leads, but I think Justin Van der Smith will now have the DRS. He has DRS open, so Justin Van der Smith will go for the counter attack. Will he then overtake him? And it goes around the outside, no, but Roy is still there, And
Lovely.
Justin Van der Smith retakes the lead, but Mr. Riboli now is in P3, and looking at his pace the whole season, while Tom Parker spins, and is that Luke Mitchell who stands there? I think it is Luke Mitchell. So, Luke Mitchell, will you throw him away? Well, we've got a spinner, it's Riboli as well! It is Riboli, and he throws away, I think, a quite certain chance on a victory. And we've got more spinners, Junior Lopez, and I think it's Jack Mayer as well, or is it just Downward? I think it is Mayer, and now everything, lights up, and yeah, this is drama. This is pure drama.
Chaos erupting on lap 6. What is going on? So here we see the incident with Tom Parker.
Yeah.
Just loses the rear a little bit, and round he goes. And then comes back across the track, doesn't hold the brakes. Rookie error from Tom Parker there. And then here we see Riboli, so coming down into turn 4, down at the bottom end of the circuit. Just gets across. What?
Yeah, it was Tom Ely who turned in too early. Yeah. He didn't clear.
And that's bizarre. That's Jack Mayer then. So Jack Mayer then gets caught up in that, trying to avoid it. Gets slammed into. I mean, he's already won the championship, and he said he wanted to, try and get a podium in this race. I think that might be a little bit out of the question. My attention, though, where's Mitchell now? Because Machete's in P5.
Mitchell spun.
So Mitchell is... Where is Mitchell? I can't even tell. Where is he? I can't even see him on the... So Mitchell is 26th. He's out of the race.
He's out of the race.
Mitchell's out of the race. If Machete finishes in P5, he jumps Mitchell. He becomes vice champion.
I think even if he finishes P7,
he can finish he can finish P7 and get it on count back. So Machete's got some, he's got a little bit of safety there now as well. So Machete's suddenly in a prime position to take the vice championship. As Hilaire goes for a 360 as well. Oh my goodness me, Mitchell's evening goes from bad to worse. He came into this evening, did Luke Mitchell, the final round of the season, looking to take the championship.
And look at this guy, Mikael Tomala. He is driving in this series since 2 years. Never won a race at GPV. this might be one of the best opportunities he's got in his whole career to go for a win here at the final round. He goes around the outside of Justin van der Smissen. Can he clear him? He can clear him here. Oh, they touch. But he is through, and I think that was fair because they touched, but I think the move wasn't unfair. So will he get DRS again, or will Justin van der Smissen get back past? He will get back past. And we see Ruven Mercedes also going for P4. So Ruven Mercedes now P4. I think Ruven Mercedes and Mikael Tomala are not out of this for a win. Roy Seifert now needs to run as fast as he can for a win like this. But Mikael Tomala, he has got the chance of his life to maybe win a race here. But yeah, if he does so, there are more that of course want that.
We'll have to wait and see. 10 laps left to run, and still drama everywhere. Is just behind Lexau. Gets a bit sideways. I mean, as it stands, Red Ven will be taking the team's championship, but oh my goodness me, just chaos. And again, as I was saying, you got to feel for Luke Mitchell. Came into this evening, is still in the fight for the championship, and now he is set to lose out on the vice championship. Oh, just heartbreak for him as Machete goes to P3 around Tuamala. Doesn't even need the DRS. Straight through. Now he does get the DRS, but he's already clear of Machete, who'll try and duck back into the... well, he's already clear of Tuamala, rather, who'll try and duck back into the slipstream, but can't make anything on it. Machete is absolutely flying. Van der Smissen at risk here as John Dixor gets into contact with Craig Patterson. Both of them able to keep going, though. It was the lightest of touches, but it could have spelled disaster, but luckily both of them got away with it okay. Justin van der Smissen just losing out to Seifert at the moment, who is starting to streak away into the distance. If Machete wants to win this race, if van der Smissen, if Tuamala want to win this race, they've really got to turn up the pace. There's 10 laps left to run. This could be anybody's guess who's going to win. Machete now trying to attack van der Smissen, looking this way, that way, unable to find the move, especially into the tight and twisty. Probably the most tricky part to overtake on the circuit is Sector 2 as Lexau tries a long shot around the outside. Can't quite make the slingshot work, but he gave it a go anyway, and I've got to give him kudos for that one. And Jack Mayer there, after boxing, new fastest lap of 1:23, basically dead. Wow, pace of a champion that. Shame he's been taken out of contention in the final race this season. He said he wanted a podium, well, he's going to have to settle for a fastest lap, unfortunately. As they head on to the main straight once again, we're going on to lap 10 this time. Machete should be blowing past van der Smissen. I mean, look how close he is already. Now he's got the DRS as well. Now he's pulling to the outside. Tuamala trying to follow, but I think he's too far back. Van der Smissen desperately trying to cling on to P2 on the inside, but there goes Machete sweeping around the outside. He's got 3 seconds to make up and 8 laps to do it in. Let's see what he can do and try and get onto the back of Seifert.
Well, I see yellow in Sector 1. I think that was Jorn Dix or Luca Titano who was involved there. For Justin van der Smissen now in P3. I think if Justin takes it well and easy, I think this will be his best result by a mile. I believe his best result this season was P10? Question mark in this year. I believe it was even P10 in one of the earlier races, from what I saw. But yeah, needs to be very smart now. 3 wide there, 3 wide. Will it end in tears? Yes, and this happens when you go 3 wide. The one in the middle is actually the meat of the hamburger, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but that's the thing. You cannot do anything. If you turn in too early, you hit one guy. If you turn in too late, you hit the other guy. So you're more like a ping pong ball, like going everywhere. It's just like, yeah, being in the middle is not always easy. So. Actually, we now see Mikael Tomala going for the podium position. It's P3 now for Tomala, or can Justin van der Smissen defend? Yeah, he will try it, but I think no. Mikael Tomala can pass here, but we already saw Justin van der Smissen earlier. He could get back on Mikael Tomala. Can he do that again? So. Yeah,
I mean, it's important to bear in mind, of course, that van der Smissen was on the reverse grid pole, so everybody behind him essentially had quicker pace than him in race 1, so he's always going to be fighting an uphill challenge. But, you know, to be holding on to P4, almost onto P3 as well at the moment, he's only got a few laps left to run, and as you said, P10 is best result so far this year, actually touching Tomala there. through the corner. But yeah, Van der Smissen on for his best result of the season so far in the final race. Great stuff. Laho there.
Oh, spin, big spin. I think it was Ely. It's Ely. Ely, no. Oh, he had such a good chance or a very good position and he threw it away. But was it his own mistake or was it somebody else that got involved? Oh, Justin Van der Smissen was really pushing the other guy. Oh, they just went 3 wide. Oh, and yeah. So Tom wanted to go around the outside, but he still kept it a bit too tight, and they touched. And another one that's my touching is Maxime Bulu, and now we've got Seva Panasenko in P3, Maxime Bulu in P4, and Justin Van der Smissen in P5.
Listen, this is going to end in tears. It's going to end in tears. Round goes Van der Smissen at the centre S's. Oh, he was fighting. Oh, and he gets clipped on the way back round as well. Lucky not to get smashed into. And Van der Smissen, he was fighting tooth and claw to hold on, and it ended up in tears, and he won't get his best finish of the season. Unfortunate for him, but he was being so aggressive, unfortunately. For all it's worth, it didn't pay dividends. Laho up to P3. The man has got ridiculous pace this weekend. Or this evening, should I say. Forgot it was a Tuesday night.
Oh, he got hit just before he
jinked left. Touched, so they bounced off into each other, and then just when the car's unsettled under the braking, and then he gets tapped round as well. But yeah, when a car's unsettled under braking, suddenly you find it doesn't quite stop as fast as you want it to, and that is a big shame for JVDS, who now falls down to P16. So he's had another problem, I think, maybe tyres overheating, spinning again as he was trying to recover. So a big shame for Justin Van der Smissen, your pole sitter in this reverse grid race, falling now outside of the points. Machete's into P2. Oh, Tamala, is it what?
I think he might have got a penalty or anything. So, Mikael Tamala. Or maybe he did it on the fuel? I'm not sure. Drama for Mikael Tamala. It's such drama sometimes from Mikael Tamala, and it's so sad because he can drive really good when you're side by side with him. But yeah, it changes, of course, the order a bit. Alex Lehoux in P3, Steve Lexon in P4, Maxime Bulu still in P5 with 5 laps to go. So yeah, we shall see.
Machete's catching Cypher. Machete is catching Cypher. He could be taking the Vice Championship in style here, could Ruben Machete. What a story. Well, what a Hollywood drama this evening has been in the final round of the Formula Sprint 2 Championship in 2022.
I would rather say a Hollywood shootout, like a Western shootout.
But it has had features of just an absolute war zone out on track, just battles absolutely everywhere, chaos at every single turn of the page, every twist and nook and cranny of this virtual Interlagos circuit. What a way to end out the season, and there's still a few more laps of racing left to go. Who's going to be on the top step of the podium, because Cypher's holding on at the moment, but Machete has got rapid pace, and look how much is closing. He won't go this time. I think even he acknowledges that is a bit of a suicidal dive bomb, but he has surely got the pace to get through Cypher, but he's got to get through Cypher. That's another ordeal entirely compared to catching the driver in front, but he'll have the DRS down here as well. Oh, and look at Cypher going so defensive to the inside. He's going to try and cut across. Machete's on the outside. They do bang wheels. Machete forced well out wide and over the bumps. He'll come back onto the circuit, keeps it pointing straight, and crucially keeps within that second DRS range that he needs to be able to activate that DRS. You can only use it if you're within 1 second of the car in front. And he has actually dropped outside now, lost a bit of momentum up the hill, of course, but judging by his pace, I don't think it'll be too long before he's back on there as Bulio and Patson. Patson knocks out Maxime, the number 29, just nudges him slightly wide to get through. I don't like to say it, but rubbing is racing sometimes. And, there is an idea, especially in karting, that if someone in front of you is slower, just knock them out of the way and take the position. And that's, I think, is the philosophy that Craig Patson is subscribed to there.
I hope not, because these, of course, these are not touring cars, which you can give a bit of a bump. But of course, we saw that a bit. Roy Seifert is still leading with. He did quite a big defense already on Ruben Machete, but Ruben Mercedes seems to be so much quicker. But maybe Ruven thinks, I'm not going to risk it, because if I'm P2 here, I will be P2 in the standings, so I think
But
he knows
to do it
that
with a
already.
win, to do it with a win, you know,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
got the pace. Why not? There's a few laps left. Go for it, mate. That's what I reckon.
Yeah, that's very true. So we shall see what he will do there.
Hilo trying to fight back on Patton after that contentious move. Just half a lap ago, pulls to the inside. Will have the inside line down into turn 4. Simple move, well executed. Patton will get the cut back, and he will draw alongside of the next left-hander. Does he have the drive up the hill again? Bulia has the inside for the right-hander, but you can sweep around the outside here if you're brave enough. But I think Bulia will have the corner as Patson pulls to the inside though on the brakes. Or side by side, Patson gets through. But Bulia still there on the outside. Can he try the cutback now? This is superb action here in Sao Paulo. And I think it will be Craig Patton retaking P5. And as they're about to go into lap 16 with 3 laps left to run, Machete once again all over the gearbox of Seifert. He wants to end this on a win, does the 71. He wants to take the Vice Championship and take it with the final first place trophy of the season. Can he get through this time with the DRS having to go the long way round once again? Seifert doesn't put off that much of a defensive effort this time. Machete, does he brake later? He'll have to go around the outside through turn 1. And that is a textbook move there from Ruben Machete. Superb stuff. He takes the lead of the race.
He takes the lead of the race, and that's of course very, very interesting. I believe Roy Seifert and Ruven Machete know each other, I think, quite well. I believe they train sometimes together, but I'm not 100% sure. So they know a bit about each other, and I think they've got quite big respect. But yeah, Ruven just wants to end this in style, and yeah, with 2 laps to go, we will see if he actually can do that. Let's see what the rest is doing. Alex Lowe again in P3, so he will go home in the plane from Brazil back to France with a lot of points for this round. And I believe it's only P7 in the standings for him. Yeah, it will be P7 for Alex in the standings. That cannot change.
Yeah, Alex Lahoe's got to have my Driver of the Day nomination. I mean, we don't officially run a Driver of the Day nomination. If you're watching along in the YouTube chat, please do comment who you think your Driver of the Day has been. And of course, hello and welcome to wherever you are watching around the world in this final round of the 2022 GPVWC Formula Sprint 2 Championship. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever you need to do to help us out here. It is really appreciated, your support. And of course, if you fancy getting involved in the 2023 season, make sure you head to the GPVWC website. There are spots available on this grid, and we'd love to have you along. But as we head on to the penultimate lap of the season, and Tom Ellie trying to desperately recover from that spin earlier. He's chasing down Josh Downard for P10. Josh, of course, having that certified R-Factor 2 moment in race 1, banging wheels in another car and then rolling 3 times and ending up without a rear wing before pitting, rejoining the race and finishing somehow. R-Factor 2 things, I suppose. But he's looking to finish inside the top 10 to cap off the season with a strong result is Downard. But Ellie is charging. He'll want a good result on board with Stephen Lexau, who's pressuring Lahoe. Of course, Lexau for Redven on course to take the team's championship, or the Constructors' Championship, if he finishes where he does. Riboli, unfortunately, hasn't put up enough of a challenge. And Mitchell, of course, we know in the Alfa Sierra car, has just had a tumultuous evening. And those guys were fighting for the championship with them as well. So Redven, as we head on to the final lap of the race in a moment's time. There we go now. Redven looking to claim the team's championship with a podium. Lexo to the inside of Lahoe, who's been so dominant this weekend. They bang wheels, but Lexo gets through. Brilliant move. Rear right to front left contact. But he gets
Alex
away
will
with
get
it.
back. Alex will get back because I think he will get the DRS here. Yeah, Lexo doesn't open it, so it's Alex who around the outside. I think it will still be Lexo. Can Alex go around the outside? He will try. He will try. Not yet.
Jumped out wide. Not quite coming into fruition there, unfortunately, for Alex Lahoe, but he certainly gave it a good go nonetheless. Oh, around goes it again!
Ely, no, Ely! get back into the points. And will he still be in the points? I believe still P50 for Tom Ely. But he lost another 4 positions. So it's Ruven Mercedes now with a couple of corners to go. It's not a championship for him as a driver. I believe his team will win the championship with the teams. But Ruven Mercedes ends this season as vice champion of the Formula Sprint 2. But he also wins another race. He ends on a high. It's Ruven Mercedes who wins race 32, the final race of the championship, with Roy Seifert, a very good P2. Well done, Roy. And Steven, makes a red van, party complete with a top 3. Alex Lou P4, and you now see the rest of the finishes. Craig Patterson a good P5, Seva Panasenko P6, which is great. Maxime Bilou P7, Tom Parker P8, and you see the rest now finishing. And I believe all the point finishers are now in. So that was it.
That was it. Mercedes ends the season by clinching the Vice Championship with a victory. Awesome, awesome stuff from him. And of course, Red Vent, donuts for Lexo as he takes the team's championship. Great result for them. But that's it for the 2022 season in Formula Sprint 2. Donuts for all. Amazing, amazing stuff. Menno, we've had a brilliant evening of racing here.
Yeah, well, this was really a very interesting championship and a very interesting final round here in Brazil. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it really today. I think others enjoyed it as well. Maybe some not as much, but yeah, we had a great championship, and we're now waiting for interviews. So let's see who we all can hear. So I was really happy with this championship. It was really a cool championship, I would say.
What an amazing season we've had. That is absolutely brilliant stuff. I mean, Menno, who's your driver of the day there?
You cannot go around the fact that Jack Mayer got the championship, but in terms of speed and maybe also a bit of luck, Alex was really good. Alex Lehoux was good. Steven was really good. Another driver of the day. I think driver of the day was it should be Jack, because he secured it. So yeah. So that's the only thing I can say actually.
That's fair enough. Why don't we get some interviews done, shall we? Let's bring in Ruven Mercedes, your vice champion of 2022. Ruven, can you hear us?
Yeah. Hi.
That's a way to steal the vice championship with a win. Awesome stuff. How are you feeling about that one?
Well, I guess I can be very happy about my season, as well, I got, I think, the most victories of all drivers in one season, so if I wouldn't have missed 4 races in total, I think, I could have been very much in the hunt for the title, but who cares? We won the as a constructor championship, and that's the important one.
Of course, great stuff for you. And, amazing race in race 2, strong performance in race 1 as well. You know, you've gone out on a bang. What's your plan for the future?
Well, I have decided after 2022 I will make a break of sim racing, because I want to do more things in real life and have more free time. So this was my last race for now in GPV.
Well, that's a massive shame, but fair enough. Got to respect your decision. But yeah, what a way to go out on a bang. Of course, we'd love to have you back in the future. But thank you, Ruven, and great job out there today.
Yeah, thank you.
And Menno, why don't you chat to Steven Lexau, who's just taken the team's championship?
Oh yeah, well I can do that. Ray's in there. Hey Steven.
Hi
so that's the final round of the season for you. I think quite an interesting round for you. A good results for you at the final evening. How do you look back on this round?
Well, this round has just been yeah, very interesting. During practice, I seemed to have a bug that I was 1 second off the pace. It was like driving with dirty air all the time, so I was pretty down while practicing, as Alpha Sierra was still within a chance. But yeah, as soon as I went on the GPV server, everything fixed itself, and yeah, it was basically a completely new car. So qualifying was on the edge, and then race 1, we saw that the Alpha Sierra guys lost a lot of positions, which would have given us a shot for the title. So in the end, with Jack, I tried it once to get Ruven back in the DRS, but we just wanted to keep it as calm as we could, so we could win the title in race 1. And race 2 has probably been the most fun I've had all season. I just went all guns blazing, overtook on the grass, on the curb, 3 wide. I just dive bombed. I finally a relief to not have to look after the title. And yeah, at the end with the Who, as we went side by side into turn 4, I was just like, you've killed me 4 times this season. Get out. Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Okay, so yeah, with the whole championship, team championship now decided, how proud are you on what the team has achieved?
I'm very proud. It's Ruven's first team's title, my second one. So yeah, for him it might be a little bit more special, but yeah, the pressure was quite intense, and I had probably the unluckiest season of my whole life. Well, I'm pretty sure I had my unluckiest season in my entire life, and I stuck through. But yeah, everything has to have an end. I will not drive as a primary driver next year, so the team will still exist. We have 2 new exciting young guys, and yeah, let's see what next year happens.
Okay, well, thanks, Stephen, for being here and to at least be here for a fun interview this season. So thank you for this season, and hope to see you back maybe another time. And
Well, we'll see each other in FS1 and Super League.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. Thanks, Stephen, for being here. I will drag you back.
Yep.
That was
So-
Stephen Lexau.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers leaving at the end of this year. That's a shame.
Yeah, but I think that's what the championship should do. Like you start at FS2, and then if you can, you will move up to FS1 if there is space and if teams want to have you, or if you can get your team in, then of course it's the natural progression you want to make as a driver. So it is not strange. So yeah, Ross, you can drag another in and then can do the interview.
I say we interview the man who was, without a doubt, the fastest driver out on track this weekend, Alex Lahoe. Alex, can you hear us?
Hi.
Alex, that was ridiculous pace out there. A superb victory in race 1, a brilliant result in race 2. How does that feel?
I don't think I have words for race 1. I just know that I was in a state of focus, extreme focus in race 1, and just kept it down, consistent low 23s all long, and it paid off. I think I saw people, Steven, Owen, and Jack fighting at the back. I think back there, it felt exceptional, honestly.
Oh, I think exceptional is the perfect word. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous pace you put on display. What a dominant victory in race 1 and race 2 as well. Obviously, had to fight from P15. You know, you made your way through. So an awesome drive this season. You know, you're a driver with a lot of talent. I think it's plain to see. What does the future hold for you?
Well, I plan to go to FS1 next year. I mean, I'm going to test all the cars beforehand, but I'm definitely confident to be racing in FS1.
Awesome
Maybe,
stuff.
reserving for higher series. I don't know.
Well,
Who knows?
I'd love to see it. Can't wait to see it. But yeah, you know what a great way to end out your season. You know, obviously as you've come into this year, you've put on a fantastic display. It must be nice that it's over though.
Yeah, kind of nice for it to be over already. I'm just trying to get some rest in. But
Yeah.
yeah, race 2 was somewhat of a weird race, so much incidents. I think I closed the door too late on Luca Gray. Not sure. He ended up having a half spin, I guess. So sorry for him. I eventually dropped down to P21 with Steven behind me, or P20, I don't know. But then I collected damage because of a pileup right in front of me, and Steven got me in the end. Because Steven Nexo is Steven Nexo. He does Steven Nexo things.
Yeah, that's what Stephen does. But great performance out there, Alex, and thank you very much. And well, see you next year.
See you, man, and thank you again.
No problem at all. My pleasure. That was Alex Laho, your race 1 winner, and without a doubt, the fastest driver out there. Do you reckon we got time for another interview? Because there's a few people waiting, but we are supposed to only do 3.
Yeah, I think we've got at least one more. I think we should add Roy Seifert in because he got a great podium in race 2. Ross, what do you think?
Yeah, go on then. Menno, the floor is yours. Go on, have Roy.
Okay, let's get Roy in here, and I hope we can hear us, Roy.
Yes, can hear.
Hey, well, so a podium at the final race. I mean, that's just amazing. Of course, maybe you wanted more. You wanted to have that win. But how was that final round for you? Are you happy with the podium? Would you have hoped on more? Tell us what your thoughts are at the moment.
Yeah, thank you. At first, to be honest, at the quali, I thought it couldn't be more than just points, but me and Luca qualified P14 and P16. Race 1 was quite chaos. Spun 2 times. A little bit of chaos with Toby there. Sorry for that. Thought we was clear in front, but yeah. In race 2, it was P5 on the beginning. I thought, yeah, let's hope that I can finish in the top 10. But yeah, P2, nice. I just want to. Wasn't quite a nice fight with Ruven, but yeah, he's just too fast for me. So I'm quite fine with P2.
Yeah. So Roy, what will 2023 bring for you? Is you already have got any deal signed or not yet?
Yes, I have a deal signed.
Okay, so that's very good. You want to say in which series that is?
Yes, it is an FS2.
FS2. Oh, that's very good to hear. So maybe not that win today, but maybe well, you've got a lot of chances next year, I guess.
I hope for more podiums.
Yeah, well, I hope for you as well. So very good, Roy, that you were here, and yeah, you get a bit getting used to be here then, because maybe next year we will interview you many more times. So let's do that, Roy.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. So that was Roy, and I think with that we had our interviews, Ross.
Yep, that's all we got time for, unfortunately. That's it for 2022 for Formula Sprint 2. But of course, we're back next year, and there's still 3 more series yet to have their final races. Of course, Formula Sprint 1 on Thursday, Super Lights next Tuesday, and Super League next Thursday. And then that's it for GPVWC this year. Well, Menno, we've had our fun. Any last words before we go quiet?
Well, yeah, just looking at the whole season, I think an amazing season. The series is always a lot of drama, but also a lot of good racing. It's not always the incidents which highlight, but also the good racing. And I think we had loads of new talents. We learned of this year who make their full breakthrough in sim racing. That's always good to see. And I think for 2023, it will be a very good championship as well. Let's see which teams will sign up for this championship. This is, of course, a championship which mainly gets new teams in. So I will expect the grid in terms of teams will look quite a bit different next year. But overall, looking at 2022, I think deserved champion at the teams, but also at the drivers. But we had a lot of good drivers, and yeah, some people had a lot of drama, maybe more drama than they deserved. But overall, I think an amazing championship.
Couldn't put it better myself. Thank you very much for joining us for the final round of the 2022 Formula Sprint 2 Championship here at GPVWC. And well, that's all, folks, but there's still a few other championships yet to be finished off in GPVWC, so make sure you tune into those. But here at FS2, it's goodbye until 2023.